All right, I'm looking at your textbook on page 267 for this information. We're talking about confidence intervals. It's basically how confident are you in your data. So if you do a survey or a poll and you get a certain amount of results, you can look at whether or not your results are showing you something important or whether they're just kind of not important at all. In this example, what they've done is they've said they've surveyed 600 people, and 76% of the people have a social network account. So it also gives you some information. It says between the ages of 18 and 34, but those are unnecessary numbers. That's just defining who they're looking at, but we don't care because that's got nothing to do with the numbers that we're working with. So 600 of these people were surveyed, and 76% of them had some kind of a social media account. Now, the 76% is the statistic that we're working with, but there's some other numbers here that we need to understand, and it said plus or minus 4%. So this is the margin of error. So that means that they probably could poll 600 different people and they might get a slightly different number than that. They do several groups of 600 people and they're pretty confident that it's going to be around 76% that are going to answer positive about this having a social network thing. But there is a margin of error. So they're writing down that it's going to be plus or minus 4%. So that means that it could be 4% more than 76, or it could be 4% less than 76. So the first thing that we could do with those numbers is figure out the range of values. So my range of values is based on, that marker's no good, based on 76 plus or minus 4%. Well, 76 plus 4% would give me 80%. 76 minus 4 would give me 72%. So basically my range then goes from 72% of all people surveyed having a social media account to maybe even 80% of people. So you can see that the 76 would fall in the middle of that, which we would assume to be the mean, but there's a little bit of variation, 4% either way, in the data. Now, this last little part says 19 out of 20 times. So what they're saying is, if they did 20 different surveys of 600 people, they would find that in 19 of those surveys, they got data within this range. Now, maybe the last survey that they did, or one of the surveys, was in a lower income area, or maybe even maybe in a more of a rural area where there wasn't such good cell service or something. Some reason why there were less people, or maybe even more people for some reason. But what it's saying is that 1 out of those 20 groups of 600 might have a different result than this. So 19 out of 20 is equal to 95%. And this is called, it's not a confidence interval, it's a confidence level. So that's their level of confidence. They're saying that most of the time, if you were to survey 600 people that were between the ages of 18 and 34, then you would find that roughly 76% of them have a social media account. So when you're trying to do your number 7 on your assignment, what you're looking for, and you can use an example, because I've noticed when I was looking on the internet that it's easier to find examples that people are actually working with than just a pure survey. But you're looking for a survey, you're looking for some data that you can play with like this. that you can actually, the political polls in the United States are a good example of this kind of data analysis. And what you're looking for is something where they tell you some of this stuff so you can play with it. If you can find a piece of data that gives you the total number of people surveyed and the confidence interval being what percentage of people said one thing or another, had a preference, and then the plus or minus, the margin of error, then you can kind of go through with that. If there's a confidence level that's included as well, it's a bonus. In your workbook, the first example they give you in the confidence intervals section walks through how to break down the numbers really easily. So you can try just following that with your own numbers. Just find your own numbers somewhere. I'm not really concerned about where you find them, just want to see that you can work with them. So if you have any troubles after that, Thursday morning, 9 o'clock till 10:15, just let me know you're coming.